Hey, what's up, guys? Myself, Fredo Cervantes here on this beautiful Thursday, February the 16th, and these are the breaks.
These
are the breaks.
You know what it is.
And we're back here on These Are the Breaks with myself, Fredo Cervantes. It is a beautiful Thursday here in Los Angeles, live at the Infinity Studios. Believe it or not, guys, I'm not sure if I'm going to retract on what I said a few weeks ago, especially here on the breaks, because last night, watching LeBron James, watching him play the way he did, even though he's missed the past 3 games, and he seemed pretty healthy last night. He seemed pretty good. No extra pain on that ankle. But they looked like if I was watching the Lakers back in 2010. I mean, something about the connection within the team. I don't even know if Darvin Ham was coaching last night. It just seemed like something was different with the Lakers. But one thing I did notice about the Lakers was the defensive side. They were able to play defense. They were able to rotate. There was no arguing back and forth. There was no pointing fingers at so-and-so. And I don't want to point no fingers here right now at Russell Westbrook because this is what I want to start off with. And I love Russell Westbrook. I love what he did here for the last year and a half. Not a lot of people loved it. Maybe I was one of a few. But a lot of people out there did not appreciate Russell Westbrook as much as the Clippers do now. Why do I say that? Because earlier this morning, Shams Charania from The Athletic reported that the Clippers and Russell Westbrook are in talks right now. So, last night, also, future Hall of Famer, former Laker, Shaquille O'Neal, the Big Diesel, said, hey, maybe Russell Westbrook should go to the Clippers so he can kind of throw it back into the Laker fans' face. Okay, if you go to the Clippers, Russell Westbrook, I guarantee you, and I love to guarantee things. I guarantee you are not going to win the championship with the Clippers. You're not. And I respect you. I hope you maybe go to Miami or go to Chicago. Where you go to Chicago, you're going to make that team a contending team right off the bat. You got Zach LaVine out there. You got DeRozan, Vucevic. You got some people out there. Chicago might be the best fit for you. But I understand you might want to stay home, stay local. Your kids, got to take them to school here in Los Angeles. You might have that new arena in about a year and a half over there in Inglewood, closer to your home. But can Russell Westbrook fit? That's my question. Can Russell Westbrook fit with the Los Angeles Clippers? You got Paul George. You got Kawhi Leonard. 2 guys that need the ball. They're both fighting for the ball at times. It seems like it when you watch the Clippers. Of course, you can watch the Clippers tonight in Phoenix on TNT, 7 o'clock. But I think adding Russell Westbrook to that, he's going to definitely have to come off the bench. He's going to have to play the same role that he was unhappy with the Lakers. So do you want to step into the same situation, maybe a lot worse? Because believe it or not, Lakers are first class. The Clippers are like maybe 22nd class in the league. They don't have the same energy inside that team because you're not a Laker. When you wear that purple and gold, it's a different thing. When you wear that white and blue and red, I mean, you might feel like you're an American. You're not the same player when you're going to be coming off the bench. You need to be a starter. You go to Chicago. You help them win some games. You make your name come up a lot more this year and earn yourself a contract this next season. Because I guarantee you're not gonna be happy. It's gonna be a lot worse. We all saw the situation in the last year and a half here in LA with the Lakers. It was bad. You go to the Clippers, 3 times as worse. I guarantee you about that. I guarantee you it's gonna be bad out there. But it's a good thing for Laker fans. I mean, I can't consider myself a Laker fan yet, but I can just say that Laker fans are going to be happy about that move because they're going to be like, okay, go shoot your bricks over there. Go do what you do and destroy that team over there. I don't know if Ty Lue is going to be able to do something different over there with Russell Westbrook possibly, but for some reason, Paul George, Kawhi Leonard, they're both trying to recruit Russell Westbrook to the team. It seems like they desperately want him, desperately talking to the media after post-game interviews. Hey, Russell Westbrook, you might want to come here. This might be a good fit. We can really use you. I don't know. It seems like they're desperate down there in Clipperland, but like I said, Russell Westbrook, not a fit there. Go to Chicago. All right. But I do want to talk about Kevin Durant. And this is something that I saw earlier today. Kevin Durant apparently, and we like to speculate a lot. And this is what I'm going to do right here. I'm going to speculate. Because one thing that we all got to recall, we didn't really get a good explanation about what happened with Anthony Davis that night that LeBron James broke the record. And we all saw Anthony Davis sitting down over there at the end of the bench while every single member of Crypto.com Arena was on their feet celebrating LeBron James. Anthony Davis was the only one sitting down, sad, depressed, upset about something. Well, things sooner than later come out. And apparently, LeBron James was trying to trade him for Kevin Durant. That's what's being speculated out there. Of course, when a guy that goes by the name of Stephen A. Smith, when sometimes whatever he says, I believe 95% of what he says. 95% of what he says, I believe. And when he comes out there and says that the main reason why Anthony Davis was upset and maybe not himself over the last week was because he knew and heard that LeBron was trying to trade him for AD. And believe it or not, I'm with LeBron. I'm with LeBron James, even though Kevin Durant is hurt right now. Even though Kevin Durant also gets hurt a lot, but not as much as Mr. AD Softy. He is a different type of player. You add KD right now with LeBron James, D'Angelo Russell, and these guys, you're maybe winning a championship. But you put AD, LeBron, and D'Angelo Russell and the other guys, you're maybe going to make the playoffs, maybe get to the Western Conference Finals. Maybe. That's the big difference right there. And maybe AD, you should be upset. You should be upset that you were in talks possibly and being swapped for KD. But at the end of the day, you have not played this year up to your potential. Just haven't. You have last night dropped 27 points. Whoopee. I mean, I can get Rui Hachimura to score 27 points if I give him the amount of minutes that you got. So, AD, don't be sad. You're still here. You got past the deadline. But maybe we'll see what happens in the summertime. But talking about the summertime and what happens, even though it was just Valentine's Day and it was a day of love, today, here on Thursday, it might be another day of love when we might welcome Kevin Love to Los Angeles, because Kevin Love last night got a contract buyout with the Cleveland Cavaliers after spending 7 years in Cleveland after being traded from Minnesota for the number 1 overall pick in Andrew Wiggins back in 2016. Now, Kevin Love is a free agent. Kevin Love has a relationship with LeBron. Kevin Love has a relationship in Los Angeles. Went to UCLA. Big time star. Now he's about 35, 36 years old now. He can still shoot the three. Can still shoot free throws. One thing that the Lakers cannot really do as well, shooting free throws. Because last night I saw them miss some free throws. I didn't see them miss that many shots, but they missed some free throws. You add Kevin Love to that, you add another veteran to the end of the bench, maybe someone that can give you 10 to 12 minutes per night, maybe shoot 2 to 3 threes, grab a few rebounds, and help some of the young kids. Help like a guy like Mo Bamba. Watching Mo Bamba last night with the Lakers for his debut, he went 0 for 6 shooting for 3, even though all 6 shots looked pretty nice. They looked like they were about to go in and out. But he fell out in like 20 minutes of play. He was being very, very aggressive down there. But as aggressive he was on the defensive end, he was also aggressive on rebounding the ball and slam dunking the ball, especially a few passes from LeBron James to Mo Bamba. Holy moly, they looked so good last night. I just cannot wait. I cannot wait till after the All-Star break because, it is the All-Star break, guys. Certain players are taking 9 days off. Certain players aren't taking maybe about 2 to 3 days off because they got to participate over the weekend in Utah, which is including LeBron James and his ankle. AD is not going to participate, and Kevin Durant is also not going to participate. Joel Embiid is not going to participate. There's a lot of players that are not going to take roles in this weekend All-Star game, so it's going to be pretty exciting to go ahead and see what might happen after the All-Star break, because March 1st, even though this February is a short month, the 1st of March, it is the deadline for any contract buyouts, any agreements, signing with the team. So Russell Westbrook, just to end the thought on Russell Westbrook, he has until the 1st of March to make a decision after being granted some permission from the Utah Jazz to talk with other teams, as he is talking with the Clippers, also with the Bulls, Heat, and the Wizards, as reported by The Athletic. But I'm going to tell you one thing about one coach when we return here on the breaks. I'm going to tell you about one gentleman who was maybe not considered a good coach or even a coach at the beginning of this year. But now he's going to win a championship this year. I will let you know who he is when we return here on These Are the Breaks.
United One Protection Services. With over 30 years of experience, United One Protection Services has more expertise and knowledge than the other security companies combined. Residential, commercial, municipal, or institutional, United One Protection Services does more than just security. We protect your livelihood. United One Protection Services.
How much time do I have right now?
Profanity Nation. A podcast for the fans, by the fans. Dive deep into the topics the other shows miss. Raw and uncensored.
And he's going to play team ball. His legacy is at stake.
Rare, hard-hitting interviews with players, coaches, and you, the super fans.
I'm not hating. I'm like, okay, cool. Good.
3 championships in 5 years. He's more than good, bro.
Profanity Nation. Listen live or subscribe on your favorite podcast platform. Powered by Jesse Brown of Keller Williams.
And we're back here on These Are the Breaks. Myself, Fredo Cervantes. Thursday, beautiful day here in Los Angeles. But it's also going to be beautiful in Utah this weekend, as we do have the NBA All-Star festivities. Everything going up over there. We got the three-point contest. We got the slam dunk contest. We got the All-Star game. And we also got the Rookie Challenge game, which is going to be taking place tomorrow night up in Utah. And you can catch all that action on TNT. But another guy who is making his coaching All-Star game debut, who just signed a 1-year contract extension after being the interim head coach for the Boston Celtics, it is Joe Mazzulla. And that is a gentleman that I want to talk about, because this man right here was nowhere near into being a head coach in the upcoming years. But a little situation happened in Boston over the summer with Ime Udoka, who got into, I don't want to get too much into his business and his personal life, but he just got tangled up with another female representative from the Boston Celtics and ended up getting suspended. And as of yesterday, he was let go officially by the Boston Celtics. And we know Udoka is going to be getting a few offers over the summertime, so expect Udoka to get back on the coaching bench sooner than later. But let's talk about the man that took over the job, which is Joe Mazzulla. Joe Mazzulla, this is his first head coaching job. He's been an assistant in college. He attended West Virginia in 2006, played 4 years out there. A good basketball player, decent basketball player. I remember him a lot. And now, what he's done with the Boston Celtics this year, after having a few guys like Marcus Smart hurt, Al Horford hurt, Malcolm Brogdon hurt, a few guys has been hurt all year long. He's got the Boston Celtics at the number 1 seed at the very top of the league heading into the All-Star break at 42-17. That is so so different compared to the Lakers. I mean, the Lakers are 27 and 32 right now. That's Darvin Ham, which I might want to give more respect to Darvin Ham because he might have a better coaching background than Joe Mazzulla. But Joe Mazzulla got Jason Tatum. He got Jaylen Brown. I mean, when you look at what he's done with that team, being able just to get the respect from the others, get respect from ownership, the GM himself. I mean, Danny Ainge stepped away. Now you got Brad Stevens up as a GM now. Brad Stevens knows what he's doing out there as well. The Boston Celtics organization is just from top to bottom, they're good right now. They're good. They're the only team that can get it in anybody's way. Every 29 teams out there, all they're looking at is how can we beat the Boston Celtics? That's how they should be looking at the season. How can they get past the Boston Celtics? How can you beat a guy like Jason Tatum, who's just emerging as the MVP this year? Yes, you got to give some credit to Nikola Jokic for averaging a triple-double as a freaking center. That's just unbelievable. But I don't think Jokic is going to win 3 MVPs in a row. If Jordan couldn't do that, or Shaq couldn't do that, Kobe couldn't do that, LeBron couldn't do that, I don't think that the NBA writers and everyone that gets a vote into the MVP, I don't think they will give Jokic that back-to-back MVP trophies. I don't think they will. I think they're smarter than that because that would really affect the way the game was played in the past, 2, 3, 4 decades or so. But you got to give some credit to Joe Mazzulla and what he's done over there with the Boston Celtics, all right? So another guy who, I mean, I don't even know what's going on out there. You gotta, it makes me upset that certain teams have the quality, have the management, and they're not doing a damn thing with it. Another team in the East who is the 3rd worst team in the league right now, it is the Charlotte Hornets in Michael Jordan, Mitch Kupchak, Steve Clifford, the head coach of the Hornets. They look at times, I mean, if you can beat the Milwaukee Bucks, you're good. You beat them by 20 points. I'm like, holy moly, what happened? But then they come back and they lose. They lose to the Grizzlies by like 30. They come back, they lose to Minnesota by 10, 15 points. It's like, what's going on over there? Steve Clifford, I don't even know why Michael Jordan, people want to call him the greatest of all time. I mean, we clearly know that he's not one of the top owners in the league or knows how to make certain decisions out there, besides maybe drafting LaMelo Ball as his only savior over the last years or so. But I don't know. I don't get what Michael Jordan is trying to do out there in Charlotte. I don't get it. And I did speak to somebody around over there that's around that team and just realizing, like, what's going on out there? And they're like, yeah, you know what? This is just this is a college team that just has no view, no vision. They don't have a vision. That's the exact words that kind of came back to me. They said there's no vision out there. No vision. So when you're leading a team and you got some very good, talented players playing for your team, and certain people say, hey, there's no vision with this team. We don't know where we're going. We're just showing up, practicing. We're collecting paychecks. We're playing basketball wherever we have to play basketball. But there's no vision out there. They don't know where they're heading to. They don't know if they want to make the playoffs. They don't know if they want to win a championship. If they don't know those type of goals, if they don't have no goals, it's a disappointing time in North Carolina right now when you look at how good you were last season, how much you expected to win from last season. I mean, you fire your head coach last season. You almost had Mike D'Antoni this year, which I don't know why you did not hire Mike D'Antoni when you got a guy like LaMelo Ball who can play that type of play style that Mike D'Antoni has. But you bring a guy that you fired 4 years ago. If I fire this man 4 years ago, and then I hire a new coach, and then I fire this coach, and I'm like, you know what? Let me go back to the coach that I fired before. Let me go, Steve Clifford, can you come back? That's what the Hornets did this year. That's why everyone was scratching their heads like, wait, you just fired this man 4 years ago, and now you bring him back? That shows you that they don't know what the hell they're doing out there. They don't. I thought Mitch Kupchak had a little bit of a brain or knew what he's doing because Mitch Kupchak spent about 25 years with the Lakers. More than that. as a player as well. But you might think that Mitch Kupchak might have an idea what he's doing. He clearly doesn't. And I don't know if it's coming from above management or if it's just the team does not have an idea and they're not buying into Steve Clifford. They're maybe not buying into him. It's disappointing. It's really disappointing when you feel the energy coming out of that team and you hear certain things that are happening, and it's not okay. So hopefully, I'm hoping. Someone told me yesterday too. A friend of mine told me yesterday. They were like, "Man, we're watching the Charlotte Hornets beat down on the San Antonio Spurs," and they were like, "The way that kid plays, LaMelo Ball, the way that kid plays, he's destined to be in a bigger stage. Like he has to be like in Madison Square Garden and maybe Crypto.com Arena where he's from." But I don't know. It seems like LaMelo should get out of town as early as he can, which he can definitely do that in the next 3 months because he is a restricted free agent ending his rookie contract. So that is something to keep an eye out for. All right. But I do want to let you guys know that spring training started, baby. Baseball is back. It is back. And when we come back here on the breaks, I'm going to give you guys my thoughts on some kind of early picks on who's looking good out there in Major League Baseball and maybe what to expect in the NFL draft coming up in about a month or so when we return here on These Are the Breaks.
Profanity Nation. A podcast for the fans, by the fans. Dive deep into the topics the other shows miss. Raw and uncensored.
And he's going to play team ball. His legacy is at stake.
Rare, hard-hitting interviews with players, coaches, and you, the super fans.
I'm not hating. I'm like, okay, cool. Good.
3 championships in 5 years. He's more than good, bro.
Profanity Nation. Listen live or subscribe on your favorite podcast platform. Powered by Jesse Brown of Keller Williams.
United One Protection Services. With over 30 years of experience, United One Protection Services has more expertise and knowledge than the other security companies combined. Residential, commercial, municipal, or institutional, United One Protection Services does more than just security. We protect your livelihood. United One Protection Services.
And we're back here on These Are the Breaks. Myself, Fredo Cervantes, live from the Infinity Studios here in Los Angeles. It is a beautiful day here today. So if you're out in Los Angeles, go ahead, drive around, put your windows down, feel the sun, feel the breeze. It is a nice day out. And especially it's nicer because spring training is here, and this is a time of the spring where we're right around the corner from leaving the winter. We're entering the springtime, and baseball is back. Baseball is a sport that I love because you got games every single day. I mean, there's 162 games, so you will never go a day without watching some baseball because from February the 25th to about maybe October the 28th, you will have baseball every single day. No matter which team it is, there will be baseball. All right, guys? But believe it or not, there is one guy up in Disneyland, which I want to call the Anaheim Angels of Los Angeles, as they want to be called, Shohei Ohtani, currently 28 years old, man. He is one of the greatest athletes that we've maybe seen. I mean, you've never seen a man that can throw the ball 100 miles per hour, hit 40 home runs in the same freaking year. You just don't see that around anymore. I mean, the last time someone like that did something was maybe about 100 years ago. That was Babe Ruth. We all know Babe Ruth. I don't think nobody watching this show right now was alive watching Babe Ruth. And if you were, well, geez, Lord, good for you. But man, Shohei Ohtani is in his last year of his contract that he signed with the Angels a few years ago, and he's been open about it. He's like, I want to test free agency. I'm not happy here. He wanted to be traded prior to the season starting last year, but he was like, I'm going to give it a go. I'm going to give it a go again. And guess what? A guy that's worse than AD. This man right here is consider the best player in baseball. This is Mike Trout. Mike Trout is maybe one of the players. I mean, you can look at him like a Chris Paul kind of figure. I mean, he's been around baseball for almost 12 years or so by now and has made the playoffs one time and has 0 wins in the playoffs. He got swept. His only time he was in the playoffs got swept, beat down by the Red Sox. I believe that was like 2014 or so, about 9 years ago. He has not made a playoff appearance since 2014. How can you be talking to Shohei Ohtani and be like, hey, man, you got to stay here and we're going to win something. Or we're all in, so buy into this team. How can you sell that to a guy that's going to be worth $500 million? How can you tell a guy that's going to be worth $500 million and be like, hey, you got to buy into this team. We're here to win. The Angels were this close in selling their team. Artie Moreno, the Angels owner, about 2 weeks ago, pulled the offer off the table. He's like, nope, I'm going to keep the team instead. I'm not selling. I'm keeping the team. They were in the verge of selling the team. They don't know what the hell they're doing out there. 2 years ago, their GM walked away in the middle of the season without notice. I don't even think I've ever seen that in any sporting team or anything like that. Your GM just walking out of the office and saying, hey, I'm done. I'm out. He booked it. And that's how things are in Anaheim. They're just not good. I mean, you go to Disneyland, you might have some fun. You go to Angel Stadium. It's one of the ugliest stadiums, most uncomfortable stadiums that I've ever been to. Those seats, awful, ugly. But Shohei Ohtani, you can throw the ball 100 miles per hour. You are the Cy Young Award winner. You can win 20 games a year. You can hit 45 home runs a year in the same season. Don't stick in Anaheim. I mean, if I can just tell you something, you look and play like a winner. You're destined to win sooner than later. You're not going to get that opportunity in Anaheim. The two teams that are on the verge of just trying to talk to Ohtani, trying to get his attention, which is the New York Mets and the Los Angeles Dodgers. So the Dodgers knew this season. They knew this offseason. That's why a lot of people are like, well, why didn't the Dodgers, the richest team in baseball, do any major moves this offseason? Why didn't they? Well, they clearly said it. And, GM also said, Andrew Friedman said, hey, I'm looking into next offseason. And what's going on next offseason? That's Shohei Ohtani. So, Ohtani, if you want to win a championship, you have a way better chance in coming and playing for the Dodgers than sticking in Anaheim. If you like Southern California, hey, Anaheim's only like 30 minutes away from Los Angeles, so you can always drive down there and do that. But Shohei, you are an amazing talent. Don't throw it to waste out there in Anaheim. Don't throw it to waste. Please, 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 please don't throw it to waste. But guess what, guys? The NFL draft is a few weeks away, and the number 1 overall pick is going to the Chicago Bears. And a lot of speculation right now says that the Bears are looking into trading Justin Fields, their quarterback, who they just drafted 2 seasons ago from Ohio State. That man can really play. But right now, Chicago Bears are like, nah, that's not our man. We want somebody else. And they're looking into shipping their quarterback out there. So I don't know. I honestly don't know what's going on. There's certain teams out there that just have zero idea what they're doing. Zero. And it's just a waste. It's a waste, especially for the cities, especially for those communities. I mean, they're all invested into buying into the local teams. And when your local team gets run the way they have been, especially the way the Lakers were run between 2013 and 2016, Those were some of the worst years we've ever experienced. Thanks, Jim Buzz, and thank you, Mitch Kupchak, which I just shouted out Mitch Kupchak for ruining another franchise out there in Charlotte. So, with that being said, I'm not going to ruin the rest of your day with all this nonsense. I'm going to let you guys go right now. And make sure you guys all tune in next Thursday, 12 o'clock here on These Are the Breaks. And don't forget to catch me as well on Monday Night Fredo every single Monday, 8 o'clock here on the Infinity Studios. We'll see you next week. Hallelujah.
Bounce it